Tucked into the farm country of eastern Indiana lies Kline Family Farms. Jim Kline leads this operation, which today covers 7,500 acres, growing corn, soybeans, and seed wheat. Spending a lifetime as a farmer, he rented his first ground from his parents as a freshman in high school. Jim has learned to deal with challenges.
I've always compared farming as being a Chicago Cub fan, because next year is always going to be better.
Challenging is putting it mildly in this heavy clay country. 2 decades ago, Jim started looking for a better farming fit.
At that time I ran the corn planter and planted most of the beans. And the only person that could work ground to suit me was my father and my brother. And we live in an area that has a high clay content, so therefore in the spring our ground's normally wet. And that was the most difficult job on the farm, in my opinion, was working the ground.
To overcome this challenge and hopefully save some money, the Klines began no-till farming. Beans were easy. Corn, on the other hand, took more time to develop.
We experimented quite a bit. I had a lot of neighbors that were on ridge till that had ideas that I borrowed, and we went to a 3-coulter system on our planter to work the soil in front of the row units.
Over the years, that's evolved from the 3-coulter system to adjusting planting depth to eventually using strip tillage in the fall.
That has worked very well for us in our soils, and that allows us basically to still no-till, but yet have a place that's warm and mellow to plant into.
Today, the Klines are experimenting with twin-row corn and soybeans, looking to increase plant populations and hopefully yields. But as the farm evolves, Jim Kline has found he spends less time in a cab and more time in the office. He has goals to keep, increasing the net worth of his corporation by a minimum of 10% a year and owning a substantial portion of his acres debt-free by the time he reaches 65. He also manages 4 full-time employees, a group of self-starters who are dedicated to the farm as much as he is.
Well, we've worked really hard to try to make that an easy fit for everyone. We've tried to give everybody a job description and what they're responsible for, because even the best day on the farm can be a long day if there are problems with employees.
Add to it the responsibility of making all of the purchase decisions and keeping between 40 and 50 landowners informed and engaged in the operation. That job he considers one of his most important.
My father taught me when I was very young that if you borrow something or use something of someone's, you always take it back in as good or better shape than what you found it. And that's what I feel about the land. I mean, I hope that people consider us a real steward of the land.
And yet for years, the land and the changing of seasons were the stable part of his life. Jim lost his wife of 26.5 years in 2006 after a long battle with illness. Those were years he spent raising his 2 kids and caring for an ailing spouse. Today, God has blessed his home. Jim is remarried and has 2 new daughters. His son is now in law school and his other daughter is a senior in college. For Jim, the future for his family and his farm have never looked brighter.
My mother and father afforded me and my brother the opportunity to come back to the farm. And that's what I wanted to do for my children. And we want to get better. You know, if size comes with that, if we grow, then that's great. I think we'll have to, in order for our children to come back, we're going to have to expand some. And I think looking into the future and talking to some of the people that you talk to at Top Producer, growth is inevitable. We're going to have to grow.
Congratulations to Jim Kline and Kline Family Farms, finalists for Top Producer of the Year.